The General Assembly failed to pass a bill banning bump stocks, the device that made the Las Vegas shooting more deadly. It was surprising to advocates when the bill died in a Senate subcommittee.
The sounds of that night haunt me daily. The screams, the crying, the people yelling.
Courtney Carroll, a survivor of the Las Vegas mass shooting, made an emotional plea for the Virginia General Assembly to ban bump stocks, the attachment that turns rifles into machine guns. She argued that the ban might have prevented the concert she attended from turning into a battlefield.
And I truly believe that if he hadn't had a bump stock on his guns that night, the amount of people that would have been shot or killed would have been way less, because it would have taken him longer to fire that trigger.
We visited Courtney at her home in Short Pump. Since the massacre, she has suffered emotionally, including PTSD and depression.
The nightmares were awful, and that's if I was able to sleep, because the night would just replay over and over and over in my mind. And it still does. Everybody has gone on living, and we're still kind of all stuck in this day.
The Las Vegas killer had 12 bump stocks in his hotel room, which allowed him to shoot over 1,100 rounds in just minutes, killing 58 people in the crowd below. That firepower is the reason why advocates say bump stocks should be illegal. To demonstrate this, I went to a local gun range in Richmond to shoot an AR-15 rifle similar to the one used in Las Vegas. Pulling the trigger as quickly as possible, the normal firing range of this rifle is on average about 500 rounds a minute. However, with a bump stock, the accessory increases the tempo of the trigger, producing around 800 rounds a minute, creating shooting speeds of an automatic weapon. That's why bump stocks have been declared illegal in California, Massachusetts, and New Jersey. Republican Senator Frank Ruff, a member of the Senate Finance Committee, argued that a ban would be useless.
It was a feel-good bill. It would not accomplish anything. You can buy them on the internet, so it would be relatively ineffective.
He has a point. Here's a website called SlideFire that sold over $10 million worth in just 6 years. Here's another, gunbroker.com. It took me 30 seconds to click the buy button after signing up for an account. Democratic advocates, including Senator Adam Ebbin, introduced the bill as Senate Bill 1 to signal that it was a priority. But Republicans, he says, killed the bill in a subcommittee because they are more interested in donations from the National Rifle Association than national opinion. According to an NPR Ipsos poll, 82% of Americans support a ban on bump stocks.
I think Senator Howell said it best. She said she would hate to think what would happen if one person had a bump stock and did this kind of carnage that was done in Las Vegas, how the members of that committee would feel then. I would think they have blood on their hands.
Some Republicans argue that because most of the availability of bump stocks is online, that this bill wouldn't do anything.
We don't not make laws because we're afraid people won't follow them. We make laws because they're the right thing to do and because we want to have penalties available when we apprehend people breaking them. Surprisingly,
Despite resistance by the Republican Party, President Trump called for a ban on bump stocks following the Florida high school massacre. Trump is studying a ban by federal regulation, but there are legal questions on whether he has that kind of authority. For WVA News, I'm Mary Rockwell.